It's movie night with Will Devacus! With special guest, Nobody! Main theme by Here Come the Mummies! Music by Adam Clifton! And because he escaped my basement, here's your host, Mr. Will Devacus!
Hello there! I'm Will Devacus. This is your movie night. Thank you for tuning in. I know. Will, what's going on with that hair? What's going on? And I say, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey.
Oh, Lord, he's singing.
What's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? What is going on with this hair? I have no idea.
Oh, stick to your day job.
Noted.
Especially since being a talk show host isn't your day job.
I'm gonna ignore that last comment.
But you didn't ignore it. Ha ha!
All right, well, as it's no secret, yes, I did get a haircut. I'm not very happy with it. I do look like that one kid from F is for Family. Yeah, that's the one. Lord Farquad for some of you older folks out there. But, you know what? I'm not happy with it. I hope it grows fast so I don't have to deal with it. I might style it differently. Who knows? Let's not waste any more time. We have a great show for you guys. Let's get to your favorite thing, and that's the ooey gooey center of this show. That's right. Headlines.
This week's headlines are brought to you by Millsboro Music. Will Devacus doesn't know anyone else.
Take two on the headlines. First off, for the second time, I just want to say I want to give a shout out to comedian Rob Hubel. He's doing this thing on his Instagram account where he reads your ghost stories or plays your voicemails. I think it's a really cool interactive thing. So he does this thing where if you have a ghost story, he will either read it on air or have you, the viewer who submitted it, come on air if you're comfortable being on video, tell your ghost story. And it's actually been a lot of fun. He's had some pretty cool guest celebrities come on, like Jeff Garland, who I'm a big fan of. And they're quick, they're right to the point, but some of them have been pretty bone-chilling. If not unbelievable, but still pretty cool. And the second show is a show where he plays your voicemails. Now, I'm not just talking about, like, hey, pick up some bread and milk on the way home from the store. No. I mean, like, these are, like, really memorable, kind of goofy, off-the-wall things that you've gotten on your voicemail recently. Or not recently, even as far back as a couple of years. As long as you save them, he's willing to play them. So give him a check out at Rob Hubel on Instagram. And you'll be able to see these live interactive events as well as some of these other videos that he does and photographs. Really funny guy, and he's a pretty good comedian too. He's a comedian that I've always liked, but I always felt didn't get enough love. But he's excellent. Also, as he stated on his Instagram, he could make a pretty good character on what's that show, Johnny Quest. Look at it, he's got the hair and everything. Anyway. The Owl House makes history with Disney's first bisexual lead character. Yes, that's right. Disney has its first bisexual lead character, which is kind of surprising to some people. But series creator Dana Terrace confirmed theories on Instagram and Twitter that this was indeed a portrayal of LGBTQ relationships. So we actually asked somebody to speak about this and comment. So we asked Winnie the Pooh, in which Winnie the Pooh said, "Comment? Why bother?" You know you can laugh. It's a comedy show, right? SAG-AFTRA contract negotiators say they were kept in the dark about the severity of the health plan problems that they are facing right now after cutting health benefits for over 3,000 members. Really? Are you guys being for real right now? You guys were kept in the dark? All right, look, listen. I just want to say this, because a lot of your union members have a lot of issues getting work through your union. If not decently paid union work. And you're going to go and pull the rug out from underneath them and take one of the last redeeming things they have, other than saying, hey, I'm part of SAG-AFTRA. Sure, they get their free movies still, but what movies are really playing that are worth seeing? Nothing that you can't already see on your own home television until Unhinged comes out in Tenet. But I know a lot of people are struggling because of COVID, and there are some sacrifices that need to be made, but I don't think this is one of them, especially in this situation. Shame on you, SAG-AFTRA. I do want to say I do not have my SAG-AFTRA card, and I probably will never get one after this story. R.I.P. SAG-AFTRA card. Daniel Day Kim, not to be confused with Daniel Day-Lewis, helped raise $55,000 to help James Hong get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now, James Wong, if you don't know who he is, has been, James Hong, has been in a lot of movies. Like, a lot of movies. More movies than most people have ever been in. He has more credits than anybody in Hollywood and deserves his own Hollywood Star of Fame. Now, when you get one of these stars, the creation and installation cost anywhere up to $50,000. So Daniel Day Kim helped raise well above that. So the man does deserve one. I think he was in Big Trouble in Little China and a bunch of other films. He, if anybody, deserves this. So congratulations, James Hong. And I can't wait to see that star on the Walk of Fame. Passing away in the news this past week, Oscar-winning screenwriter Kurt Luedtke, he wrote the award-winning film Out of Africa, dies at the age of 80. Also, Ash Christian, filmmaker and Emmy-winning producer, passed away in his sleep at age 35. It's young. Too young. That's like, I'm only like a couple years off from that. Yeah. Better be careful. Well, I don't know what he did. Exactly. So my heart goes out to the friends, family, and coworkers, whatever, of the people who passed away. Let's take a beat real quickly for those who passed. So, movie theaters across the United States of America are opening now. Some have been open for a while, and I live in Delaware. I stopped by the Historic Clayton Theater in Dagsboro, Delaware recently to talk to the owner about some of the trials and tribulations that they might be going through during COVID.
For the past few months, the movie theater industry has, for lack of a better term, come to a halt. No, it's not because the movies have been so bad, but because of COVID-19. Now, a lot of states are not allowing movie theaters to open, but if you live in Delaware, that might be a different story. Yes, Delaware officials have opened up movie theaters, but there are a few guidelines that they have to follow through with, such as everybody has to wear a mask until they're seated, they have to have access to hand sanitizer, and they have to social distance. Now, I'm here in Dagsboro, Delaware at the Historic Clayton Theater. It's a beautiful theater and one of my favorite theaters. Hey, listen, I used to come here as a kid. I remember seeing the Rugrats movie here. Great theater, and I'm here to talk to the owner about how business is doing during this trying time.
It's been a very trying time. I know it's been for everybody, and theaters in particular. I know restaurants have been suffering badly, but theaters have really had to shut down all across the country, and they haven't been able to reopen fully yet. The studios are not releasing any films until they have a good majority of the theaters in the country and around the world open. So it's leaving us to, our own devices and bringing in classic films and trying to entice people out to feel comfortable and have an evening out in a theater. We've done everything we can to try to make it comfortable for people. We're wearing masks. The concession stand people are wearing gloves when they're serving concessions. We've marked off every other row in the theater is closed down so that you have a row between you and the next family. And also there's 3 seats between every group that comes in so that there's, safe distancing between everybody and they can feel like they can relax and enjoy the show. The Clayton Theater is such a great experience for families. A lot of older people bring their kids and their grandkids to experience a single-screen theater. We're the last single-screen theater still operating as a first-run theater in Delaware. And people love to bring their kids and show them movies the way they used to be seen. I have nothing against the big complexes and the multi-screens, but this is just a completely different experience. I mean, we're right here on Main Street. We've got a big lawn out in front of the theater. You don't see that anymore. So it's just a fun experience. We try to keep our prices low and reasonable so families can come and enjoy shows together. And the same with our concessions. We try to keep them low. So I just encourage people to come out and give us a try. We're doing everything we can to make it safe during these difficult times. And we would just love you to come out and have the Clayton Theater experience.
There you have it, folks. Support your local movie theater, and if you live in the Dagsboro, Delaware area, check out the Clayton Theater. It's historic, it's awesome, and enjoy the show.
So whether you're vacationing in the Sussex County area of Delaware, or if you maybe live here and you don't know about the Clayton Theater, check out the Historic Clayton Theater in Dagsboro, Delaware. It is the last one-screen theater that is showing first-run movies in Delaware. That's pretty cool. Now, they're not showing any first-run movies right now, not until probably Unhinged and Tenet come out, but they are showing some classics. I've been there a couple of times. Maybe you'll see me around. If you see me at the Clayton, say hey. What's going on? And I said, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? So check it out. Say hey to me if you see me in the Clayton Theater. I'd love to see you and all your smiling pretty faces. And maybe we'll have a nice conversation about some of your favorite films. But I do want to say something really quickly before we end the program. With COVID-19, it's very depressing. I don't really know what to say about it. There's a lot of things that are going on, and I know a lot of people are really upset by them. Some people are not. Most people are. And I try to stay away from politics on the show for many reasons. This is like movies. This is your escape. Whether you're coming here to laugh, cry, or make fun of me, either way, this is a safe haven from all that stuff. Because if you want to watch anything political, just turn on the TV, and you're saturated. Not here. We don't cook with that low-fat butter shit. We go straight to the source, you know what I'm saying? I want you to support all your local businesses. There are a lot of them who are really struggling and suffering. And I'm not talking about like your local big box stores like Walmart. Let them... Look, listen, I love Walmart. I love these big box stores. They're going to get bailed out anyway. Your local people, not so much. Go support local businesses. Help them out. I'm talking about your Clayton Theaters of the world, your Fells Point Surfs of the world, everybody who has a mom and pop business that are just trying to survive. They have kids and mouths to feed too. Now, I get it. You don't have a lot of money. A lot of people probably, whether you're working or not, some people are working, some people are still unemployed. You know, no judgment here, folks. It's hard. It's hard because a lot of people don't know what to do, and a lot of these decisions being made aren't being made by the people who are suffering because of the decisions being made, if that makes any sense. Do what you can. And if you have a little dough left over, I'd be more than willing to take that off your hands. I'm just kidding, guys. Also, support the post office. You know, we need to get our mail. Which, speaking of which, the Postal Service, this is very interesting. I want to talk about this, and I didn't know who to talk about it with because I don't have any friends. What's going on? All right, I'll stop. But I'm going to do something on the show where we make a Wall of Fame. Now, Wall of Fame, that is subjective. You know, there are some people who are going to be on it who aren't famous, such as moi, because I'm an egotistical bastard with nothing to live for. So why not? But I want to get autographed 8x10s or autographed photos from people that I can hang on this wall. I believe in surrounding yourself with inspiration. That's how it keeps me out of depression, and I think it'll keep you out of depression too. So if you're a creative person, surround yourself with things that you like. You know, books, movies. If you like autograph pictures, get them. Look, folks, we're only on this world for a short time. So eat the good food, buy the nice things, and enjoy your life. Because if not, you're going to be sitting back going, well, coulda, woulda, shoulda. No regrets. But I got to finish my story. The ADHD has been kicking in. I purchased an autograph photo of one of my favorite James Bonds. Don't judge me. I purchased an autograph photo of George Lazenby. Now, if you're unfamiliar with George, he's an Australian model and actor who played James Bond just one time, which is a goddamn crime, being the fact that he was one of the best Bonds, in my opinion. Now, a lot of the people, the reviewers, say he was very wooden and stiff, but I thought he was actually pretty good. I thought the script was good. I thought the movie was good. It's one of the better Bond movies. It's right up there with Casino Royale to me. My favorite Bond movie will always be License to Kill. But this comes to a close second with Casino Royale on third. So I purchased this from his agent named Anders Frege. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, Anders. Nice guy. I bought one last year around this time, and it never arrived. So I bought a second one. Well, I didn't buy a second one. He sent me a second one. Free of charge. Nice guy, again. That never arrived. So I bought a third one. Bought that one in June. He sent it out in July. And it still has yet to arrive. Now, I have also contacted the United States Postal Service, with a claim. They closed the claim out without even telling me. When I contacted them, they were like, oh, yeah, we don't have it. Anders, I believe, is under the suspicion that I am just saying this to get free autograph pictures to do. Lord knows, I don't know what I would do with a bunch of George Lazenby. I'm sure there is something that could be done with George Lazenby photos. Wallpaper. I do not want to wallpaper my bathroom with George Lazenby photos. I'm sure there are some other things that people might be trying to do to pull a fast one, and that's not me. And I just want one for my wall. I just want one to have. I know he is getting up there in age, and we don't know how much more time we might have, Mr. Lazenby. So I would like to have one of him. So Anders, I apologize. I'm not pulling it out. But you know what, Anders, I'm not mad at Anders. He's been very patient and nice with me through this whole thing. I think we're both mutually frustrated about the situation, especially me, because the post office is acting like, well, we didn't get it. And Anders is like, well, I definitely sent it out. And he sent this photo proving that he shipped it out. Well, it's yet to arrive here. We'll see what happens next. But I just wanted to kind of talk about it because, Anders, I think you think that I might be trying to pull a fast, and I'm not. And I don't think you're trying to pull a fast one. You've proven to me that you've sent it. And I just hope I get an autograph 8x10 of George Lazenby in this lifetime. And as for the 3 autograph pictures that are floating around in the bastardized postal service ether, like, what the hell? It's probably some weirdo going, oh, I got another Lazenby photo. Like, what the hell? And then the weird thing is, I've gotten packages in the past year from different countries, different people, and they've arrived. So it's not like, I don't know. I don't know, but Anders, I apologize if you feel like you're being shorted. And I really hope that I get the photo. And I hope to get either you or George on this program to interview. Whether it's remote, we can do it remotely through Skype, or we can do it where you guys actually if you want to come out here and fly out here. Our budget is low, so we'd love to have you on the program. And Anders, if you want, I'd like to go toe-to-toe with you in golf. That way I can make an ass out of myself. It's true. But for the viewers at home who have an 8x10, whether you're a big Hollywood actor, which nobody who is a big Hollywood actor watches this program, but maybe you're a no budget, low budget, or whatever. We're talking about the Joel Winecoops of the world. We want to put you on our wall. Or the Craig Kilborns of the world. We want to put you on the wall. Well, that concludes this episode of Movie Night.
Will, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt. I know I give you a hard time. And I understand that the audience knows that we just like to rib one another. But I don't think the audience truly understands the amount of work, effort, and struggle you've put into this show.
It's nice.
I'd like to take a moment to fill them in on all you've done to make Movie Night what it is today.
What are you getting at? What are you after?
Ever since he was a boy, Will Devacus has been fascinated with film. It was no surprise to anyone that he and his friends would start making videos of their own, and eventually developed a horror movie, which they shot with no budget and their own instincts and savvy.
It's true.
Though the film might not have been perfect, it was a wonderful display of their understanding of the horror genre and Will's love for the craft of filmmaking.
Oh, shucks.
Unfortunately, Will ended up having to drop out of high school.
For what? What are you talking about?
Now, Will, don't interrupt. You don't know where this is going.
No, I don't. I have no idea.
Thank you. Will ended up having to leave high school early due to a morbid chronic flatulence issue that resulted in a tragic accident.
That's a bold-faced lie. And
He was picked up by a traveling circus and was given the job of providing water for the elephants.
That's not true. That is absolutely not true.
Now, let me finish. I'm sure your lovely audience would love to hear the rest.
Don't bring them into this.
What do you say, audience? Oh, you're too kind. Mwah, mwah. After a wonderful musical number, wherein Will pondered whether he was a man or Muppet, he parted ways with his brother, who went on to star in Howard the Duck and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
He was
now in
born.
theaters everywhere.
No, it's not.
Don't interrupt. Shush. Will eventually ran into trouble for shoplifting prophylactics and was sentenced to prison.
What am I, Winona White Rider?
Hush now. I've been talking like this the whole time. Will Devacus crawled through 5 football fields of shit. The funny thing is, he did it 3 weeks after his release. Because that's just who Will Devacus is. He goes that extra mile. Yes, I'm done.
Thank you, Albie, for that. Well, that concludes this episode. I just want to give a shout out to Jimmy O'Neill, who does the Jimmy O Show. If you don't know who Jimmy O'Neill is, he is a comedian from the UK who does some really gut-busting, funny stuff. Now, he does a really cool little podcast where he interviews other people around the UK. I don't know if they're really if they're other comedians or whatnot, but he is very, very funny. And trust me, in a world with a lot of comedians, I know that a lot of people are like, it's hit and miss. A lot of people, don't think I'm very funny. The one show that one guy from Dagsboro, Delaware has claimed that I'm not funny. But, it is what it is. So check out the Jimmy O Show. You can find it on Apple Podcasts and any other podcasting network. And you can add Jimmy O'Neill on Facebook. He's a very funny, nice guy. And before we go, one last little thing. I want you all to remember, folks, when a magical thing is about to happen, let it happen. Because it's magic. So that's it, folks. Love you all. Keep being creative. Keep doing what you're doing. Be kind to one another, including you, Ellen DeGeneres. And I leave you with this. This is your martini shot.
Hello, my name's Jimmy O. This is my new podcast, The Jimmy O Show, recorded here live in Palletwood Studios. There'll be a range of guests on every week, from politicians to craft beer drinkers, vegans, people who mull with goats, Satanists, or perhaps somebody who works for Wigan Council. One thing I can promise you is each and every podcast will be fucking shit. They'll be fucking rubbish. The only fucking reason I'm doing this is because my comedy career has gone to fucking shit, same as everything else I ever tried in my fucking life. So I thought, why not, Jimmy? Do a fucking podcast and you can fuck that up too. So watch it if you want, or if you don't want, I couldn't give a fuck really.
And I said, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I said, hey.
Oh, I'm taking that painting. Watch me.